Indians, don't move to Canada. Viral video highlights harsh reality of a typical immigrant. Canada has long been seen as a dream destination for Indian immigrants, but a viral video by Canadian resident Caleb Friesen challenges that view, calling the process a scam that drains immigrants' resources while offering little in return. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. A viral video critiques the Canadian dream for Indian immigrants, revealing financial and cultural hardships. It questions the realities behind express migration routes and long-term settlement struggles. Canada is one of the countries accepting the highest numbers of immigrant influx every year. This has become Canada's reigning source of economy, culture, and demographics. A viral social media post on X shared that Canada is one of the most popular countries for Indians to relocate to, yet many of them discover too late that the grass was actually greener back home. The video urges Indians who wish to relocate to Canada on an express scam about the harsh reality of the one-way commute. While the narrator acknowledged the immigrant's ability to sustain himself just after moving, but 3 years down the line ends up with debts and loans. Pointing out to the majority of Indian immigrants who invest their entire life savings just to move to another country, they move because it has been portrayed to be better. It has been called the Canadian immigration scam. A typical Canadian immigrant is not a single rich person who can move in and then move out of the country if it's not good enough, as elaborated. While pointing out the immigrant's situation, the video also shares the common blames put on them. Circumstances such as not working hard enough, not speaking English well enough, not being patient, not having good enough networking skills were common scapegoats of the situation. Even after the immigrants do make the shift, the pitch is downgraded, and questions like, "Why did you come to an expensive city with jobs and infrastructure?" are raised. The video highlights growing concerns among Indian immigrants regarding the challenges of settling in Canada, including financial strain and unmet expectations. It reflects broader debates about the realities of immigration, the narratives that shape migration decisions, and the socio-economic pressures faced by newcomers in high-cost urban environments. Canada drains resources. Canadian man warns Indians against relocating, calls immigration a scam. A Canadian warns Indians against moving to Canada, saying that the immigration process financially burdens skilled workers without providing adequate benefits. Caleb Friesen, a Canadian man living in Bengaluru, has said that Indians planning to relocate to his country should reconsider their decision. Caleb claimed that Canada uses the life savings of immigrants and their cheap labor to fill the gaps in its own economy while providing them few benefits that they could not get back in their own country too. If you are Indian, don't move to Canada, he warned in a video shared on X and Instagram 2 days ago. India versus Canada. According to Caleb, a typical person who comes to Canada under the Express Entry program, which he calls a scam, is a skilled worker, probably 28 years of age, with a stable job, a family, his own home, and anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in savings. This person can live comfortably in his home country, travel abroad once a year, and has access to healthcare. In moving to Canada, he uses up his life savings, possibly gets a loan, loses access to affordable healthcare, no longer owns a home in his country of residence, and can afford nothing except rent and food. This immigrant can no longer afford to travel, and instead spends his time optimizing groceries to save an extra $10, according to Caleb. As you see, a typical Canadian immigrant is not a single rich person who can move in and then move out of the country if it's not good enough. A typical Canadian immigrant usually has the resources to make a one-way move to Canada, Caleb explained. Then Canada drains all the resources which that immigrant accumulated through their lifetime. The Canadian man theorized that many immigrants who move to Canada cannot move out, not only due to lack of financial resources but also because of lack of willpower. After all, people in their late 30s and 40s do not have the same kind of drive that people in their 20s do. Canadian immigration scam. Caleb, host of the Backstage with Millionaires podcast, called the Canadian immigration system a scam that preys on vulnerable people. Canadian immigration scam first makes people believe that Canada is fundamentally better than their home countries just to fill the gaps in the Canadian economy with immigrants' life savings and cheap labor for as long as they are not frustrated enough to leave, he said. He blamed the North American country for selling a pyramid scheme, saying it's really hard to get to the truth of what Canada is about, because there are multiple layers of lies around it. The Canadian man also touched upon the racism that immigrants face in Canada in his now viral video. Dozens of people commented on his video, noting the pros and cons of living in India versus abroad. Friesen's message urges Indians to rethink the promise of Canadian immigration, warning that the reality may be far harsher and far costlier than expected. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.